What's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome back to the DreArea Sports Show, where we don't talk about San Jose Sharks, but I have it on there anyway because, hey, it's a Bay Area team. Why not? Guys, Welcome to the show. I am your host, Andre, also known as Nicotina, and this is my brother, Daniel. Daniel, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man, good. Now, Dre will be joining us in just a few minutes. He's racing through town to get here. So we want to wish him a safe and happy travels. But
Good
yes.
luck, man.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, baby, I made it.
Yeah.
You made it.
What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Holy shit. So let's see. Hold on. Let me show
At the buzzer, baby. At the buzzer.
At the buzzer. At the buzzer. So we had a crazy start of the week on Monday with the start of free agency, and I would say it was pretty eventful. There were a lot of moves, a lot of changes that were made on Monday that I was pretty excited about. And then we got one this morning that we were like, holy shit, cool, like, hey, they're making moves. This is fucking great. And you're like, whoa, Andre, what are you talking about? We're talking about Eric Kendricks coming to the Niners. We're like, man, this is fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm it's so great. And then this happened. He had a change of heart when we go into the fucking Cowboys. You know what, Eric Kendricks? Go fuck yourself. We didn't fucking need you anyway.
No,
I can't believe that, dude.
How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know.
To go to the fucking Cowboys.
Somebody must have been
Cowboys.
He must have a buddy on that team because it doesn't make sense from a winning standpoint. I mean, if he's thinking he's gonna go win football, if he's win football games for the Cowboys, he's got another thing coming. So
what's up, TW? He's actually up for
this.
this too. Yeah, it's late at night for him. He's like, breathe, Andre. I know when it's fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, look down for it's like, fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. We don't fucking need him. And we'll find somebody else, and we'll talk about the options that are out there. But right off the bat, what do you guys think about this fucker, Eric Kendricks, going from the Niners, agreeing to a contract, and then skipping out and going to the fucking Cowboys? Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's not official unless you sign on the dotted line. So maybe that just didn't happen yet, obviously. And he decided, I think he's from Dallas area. I thought I read that he was going home.
There's got to be some home ties.
So I think he's just doing his thing. And, it's kind of screwed up for the Niners because they started investing into the D-line, thinking
Big
that
time.
they had their linebacker, kind of tied in. And now this guy bails out, leaves us hanging. But it's going to present some more options for Lynch. Obviously he's going to have to look at the draft at this point and start looking at some linebackers, but we got some good linebackers that are second-year players now. So hoping we can count on them to contribute. And free agency isn't over yet, so there's still potential options out there, even for a trade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like obviously John Lynch and the Niners, we know what their MO is. They like to go for defensive line. They like to stack. They like to build depth there. That's exactly what they did. Multiple defensive tackle signings. We got our outside linebacker, edge rusher, Leonard Floyd from the Bills.
We did.
But it seems and then obviously
Oh shit. Hey, we got breaking news. Kevin Givens has come back. He's signing a 1-year contract with the Niners.
Yep.
So this is kind of crazy. So Kevin Givens has re-signed with the Niners. He's coming back to fill in that defensive tackle spot. He was serviceable off the bench. He was good against the run. I'm happy with the 1-year contract. Let me see what it says right here.
Yeah.
It just has a 1-year deal per Adam Schefter. It had his actual tweet, which it's the same thing. It just says lineman Kevin Givens returning to the Niners on a 1-year deal. So look, they're making sure that they have depth at the defensive line position, which I'm really happy with.
Yeah.
So now we know Kevin Givens is in fact coming back, but let's take a look at all of the other free agent acquisitions the Niners have made that, have really, this one actually has Eric Kendricks on there. Fuck. But anyway, Let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's a shot from the sports leader. But there's Leonard Floyd. That was the first signing. Now, I thought that was a great acquisition of getting Leonard Floyd. He's an experienced defensive end, edge rusher, and I thought it was a good move. At first, it wasn't the sexiest name out there. Yeah. But I was pretty happy with this signing when it was all said and done. Dre, what did you think about Leonard Floyd?
I think it's great. I think the numbers are there. The 10.5 sacks last year. I'm not sure exactly how many tackles he had for his position, but I think that's a great depth signing. I think it's our guy across on the other side. It now looks like that Chase Young will not be returning this upcoming year. I believe Leonard Floyd will be penciled in at that position. I think overall he has experience in the AFC. He has experience against Kansas City. That's something that I think a lot of people aren't really thinking about. They've been playing it. I think they played KC pretty much the last 3 or 4 seasons. So he has that experience. He knows how to play against Patrick Mahomes. I'm just thinking in those terms. I think it's a great, like you said, it's not the sexiest pick, but I think production-wise, leadership, and what he'll bring to the table overall to the outside linebacking core. That's just more money in the bank for our pass rushing.
Absolutely.
I would add real quick, Andre, that he has experience in the NFC West. He's
with
played
the Rams.
in this division. Yeah, right. With the Rams.
Right. You're right.
That's another plus.
Thank you, Niners, for helping weaken the Bills. Yeah, no problem.
I wonder if that dude's going to come on again.
I know. I hope so. But yeah, Leonard Floyd, he had, 21 solo tackles, 150 tackles plus, and he had 10.5 sacks last season. The guy doesn't miss games. He's very durable. And, we're making a big deal out of that. Watch, this guy's going to go fucking hurt himself week 1.
No, don't say that. Knock on wood.
I know, right? But let's take a look at the stats. What else? Where's my mouse out? There it is. Get the fuck out of the way. So let's see.
There's that stat one right there. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, you're click happy tonight.
Well, I'm not click happy. I'm just pulling up the stat. He wants to go to his fucking. Here we go. Okay, so sack wise, that was one of his best seasons. That 10.5 sacks last year. The year before that with the Rams, he had 9 sacks, 9.5, 10.5. So during this run from 2020 to 23, and in that run, he also won a Super Bowl as well under Brandon Staley, who's now an assistant coach with the 49ers. We've got ourselves a premier experienced pass rusher.
No, definitely.
And with this being said, I think the days of Chase Young, it's over. Chase Young's going to go to the Saints or to the Panthers or whatnot.
Right.
And as much as I like the prospect of Chase Young, the guy's only 25 years old. He's very young. But at the same time, he only had, 3 sacks or 2 sacks with the Niners.
Yeah.
His impact wasn't felt very much. And then there was questions about his motor, about his lack of effort. And I'm sorry, if you have questions about your lack of effort and your determination and you're only 25 years old, that's not a good sign, man.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to be known for.
We've been talking a lot about, bringing back Chase Young on a 1-year prove it kind of deal.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think we've been pretty consistent on that, just like a 1-year kind of thing, nothing like long term. But I think adding this guy, look how consistent he's been over the past 4 seasons in regards to sacks. He's a contributor on defense. And look at the games played.
That's over 40 sacks in the last 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's definitely. Yeah, and you can see that right there. I mean, games played, the guy is just an incredible athlete. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this.
He kind of flies under the radar. I mean, he wasn't the guy that, going into free agency was like, oh man, this is the guy, this is the guy you got to get. No, but he's been a model of consistency, and he's perfected his craft. And I think this is a great signing. In fact, a lot of the signings that the Niners have made this offseason have been really, really good. Don't just erase the Eric Hendricks.
Oh.
But this one had the rest of them on there. So Jordan Elliott, another pass rusher. He's great against the run. He's a defensive lineman. I think this is a great pickup. He was on a good defense in the Cleveland Browns, and now he's here. And now you could really switch him out for Javon Hargrave, and then have Hargrave be part of like the pass rushing scheme when needed. But having a 5 wide system as well, that's where Javon Hargrave really, really found success over in Philadelphia. And I think that's what they're going to try to go to with this new defense. I got a feeling we're going to get a lot of 3-4 setups and have more linebackers. And, because if you look at it, Leonard Floyd almost looks like an outside linebacker. He's thin. He's kind of long. So it'd be interesting to see how they set this up. But again, not only did they get Jordan Elliott, but they also got Malik Collins as well. I mean, these are guys who are flying under the radar, but they're huge contributors, and their stats back it up as well. Let me go ahead and pull up Malik Collins, which go ahead.
They're big in stature. It seems like they're going for different prototypical defensive linemen this offseason. Guys are a lot bigger in size, bigger weight. Plugging the holes. It looks like we want to get better in the run scheme or the run defensive scheme. So I'm seeing a lot of guys a lot bigger, not as I guess not as much as finesse players. These guys are gonna, like I said, they're gonna clog the holes. They're gonna beat you up in the trenches. It's a different signing of defensive tackles this offseason. I'm noticing that.
Yeah, well, the thing I love the most is that they're adding depth to their defensive line, which is something that they didn't have last year. They sort of had it in the beginning, but then a lot of these guys kind of fell off, like Drake Jackson fell off. Cleveland Vero, who I wouldn't have mind coming back. He ended up going to, I think it was the Commanders. Hey, good for them. And good for him for getting a contract, right?
Yeah.
But these guys, when you look at the guys they brought in, Jordan Elliott, Malik Collins, Yator, Gross Matos, they're adding more depth, and they're getting rid of guys that were unreliable. Like everyone kept saying, I hope they bring out Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw's gone. That's great that he got a contract over with New York, but the guy was so injury prone. Every single year he was getting hurt.
Yeah.
And so they need to get somebody who could stay in there. Okay, so let's look at Malik Collins. Games played 16, 15, 15. The past 3 seasons, he's played almost a full fucking season. The only year that he didn't was when he played for the shitty Raiders. And
I'd be faking injuries too, not to get on that field.
Yeah, he's like, I can't make it out there right now.
Yeah, that's not gonna work today.
But you look at last season. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think what you're seeing the Niners do is they're getting these players that are healthy players. They're contributors. They're filling specific roles. They're not signing big splash like free agents. There's no chase after Jones. And they're going for these guys that are actually have been consistent in what they're being asked to do, and I think. I think I'm impressed with what they've done so far in this free agency.
Yeah, I mean, you think about you trying to make a splash for trying to pay someone like Danielle Hunter $25 million per season, and they're getting 4 guys for that same price.
Well, and that was the thing too. When you look at it, in years past, like we spent a bunch of money and got Javon Hargrave, right? Or before that, they would spend a lot of money and get one guy that would be a big contributor to the defense of the offense, right? But they always had the guys like, they already had guys like Kevin Givens signed, Javon Hargrave, all these guys that were already waiting, that gave them some depth. But now they have to go look for their depth because some of the guys that they drafted are just not panning out. Drake Jackson is one of them. So getting guys like Malik Collins and Jordan Elliott are huge. So Malik Collins as well. Not only did he have, or did he play 16 games last year, he had 41 total tackles. 19 of them were solo, with 5 sacks as well. So this is already going to help just right in the interior of the defensive line.
Yeah. And look at those assist tackles, 22 assisted tackles.
Yeah.
That's being active.
Yeah.
Really active.
Yeah, no, definitely. I want to see if it shows anything else.
Numbers from the run support. It's those run support tackles. It's like I said, it's clogging holes. It's penetration up the middle. I think you're going to see a lot of that from all of these guys at different points of the year next year. Just so from what we know the Niners to do every offseason to bolster and just to add depth to the defensive line, I think they should grade out as at least an A- in this free agency grade so far.
Yeah. And that's the thing they're looking for too, is they're looking for durability. And really some of these guys none of these guys are really that old either. So like they're getting these fairly young guys. Jordan Elliott, he was drafted in 2020. Let's go to his stats right here. Stats.
And both these guys were third rounders.
Yeah. This is his 5th year in the league. And look, this guy is not a pure pass rusher. This guy is more of a run stopper. And so this, again, adds depth to their defensive line. And on top of that, he played on a very, very good Cleveland Browns team. So he was part of that equation of why they were so good against the run and against opposing offenses. Guys, we have 24 people watching right now. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so yet,
let's go.
If you want to help the channel, go ahead and join us on Patreon or become a member of the channel. Now, like I said, he's a 4-year veteran, if you want to call him that. And each year he's gotten better with sacks. 0, then half a sack, 2 sacks, 2.5 sacks. And like I said, this guy is not a pure pass rusher, but they also feel like this guy has the potential to be a pass rusher as well. So that's something that I'm sure Chris Kasarik is going to work on with him. But again, we're looking at a guy who's 6'4", 303 pounds. This is a big dude.
That's what I'm saying. They're getting bigger on the defensive line. It's not so much of the quick, agile defensive linemen like we've seen in the past. These are big dudes. These guys are gonna, like I said, they're coming in for the run defense. We're now putting a major refocus on stopping the run. As last season, you saw us get weaker and weaker as the season went on.
Yes, they're making sure that their run defense is much, much better. When you look at it, we know earlier in the week that Eric Armstead decided to become a free agent because they asked him to restructure his contract in which he'd take a pay cut. He declined, and now he's a free agent. But look what they've done in the wake of losing, of making Eric Armstead a free agent. You're looking at a salary cap, right? So Eric Armstead was $24.8 million. Now, if you look at who they added, Malik Collins, Leonard Floyd, Jordan Elliott, Yetur Gross-Matos, combined $31 million. So
that's huge.
So you lose Eric Armstead, but you've gained 4 other players.
Exactly.
It was 5 at one point, but that dipshit left. So, you're getting Malik Collins, Leonard Floyd, who's a veteran edge rusher who's going to give us at least. I mean, he's been averaging 10 sacks the past 2 seasons, 3 seasons. Jordan Elliott, who played on a great Browns defense. So he knows what his role is. He's not a guy who's going to come in and say, no, I'm a pass rusher. I want to start every down. No, he knows exactly what his role is. And then you got Yetur Gross-Matos, who that one shocked me because I was like, who the fuck is this guy? But the guy has
I didn't know him. He wasn't familiar to me. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I was like, who? Huh?
This dude? But is he a edge rusher? Yeah.
He is, and let me pull up his stats. Where is he?
I believe this would be his 3rd year in the league this following season. I think he's only been in the league 2 years.
Yeah.
So obviously still raw, still an up and coming guy, still trying to find his way in the league. But again, just adding to the depth on the edge. You can never have too many pass rushers. Obviously, we know that.
Yeah. And so here's his numbers right here. When we go to his stats,
2nd round pick.
He's a 2nd round pick out of Penn State. He was the 38th pick in the draft. That shows you right there that he's got talent. He had 19 tackles, 4.5 sacks. So again, you add another guy who can get to the quarterback, which is fucking great.
You think with all the tools we already have, with all the big playmakers, he could be a sneaky, guy who could, put up 8 sacks this season just because of all the talent we have surrounding him. Yeah. He'd be able to feast this year. So I think that's a sneaky good, another good pickup this.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is a testament to John Lynch. Everyone's like, okay, well, when Adam Peters leaves, what effect is that going to have on the players they sign and they draft? So far, he has done an outstanding job at but signing quality fucking players.
Yeah.
Niner for Life says, I'm honestly going to miss Armstead. I'm not going to miss Armstead. That dude is always injured. He's always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a great leader in the locker room. But yes, he was hurt. And he's done a lot
for the community as well.
No, he has. Absolutely. And if they found a way to make him stay, I'd still be happy with that. But at the same time, he has a chronic plantar fasciitis injury.
Yes.
This is when we find out.
Oh, fuck. What is that? Did you hear that?
That is constantly resurfacing every season. It seems like he's always suffering from that injury. And I don't know. That's something that's probably going to follow him around the rest of his career.
Yeah. No, every year it creeps up that he misses a couple of games because of it. So,
again, he's not going to get that kind of money anywhere else.
No, I think
they probably try to have him come down similar to where a lot of those players signed.
Probably, but
10,
I think
12, maybe 15 million.
I bet you he ends up in Houston.
I think he's going to Miami.
Or Miami.
Since they lost that defensive tackle, they need somebody to replace him. I think he's going to Miami.
Well, let me see here. Let me bring up Eric Armstead.
I love Eric Armstead. I mean, he's been since 2015.
Yeah,
Chip Kelly days.
Yeah,
he's
one of the original.
He's had some really good years and some invisible years. But I think he was definitely loved on the team, and I'm sure within the organization.
3-time Walter Payton Award winner for the organization. Just a real stand-up guy. Great with youth. I know he did a lot for the youth as well too. So you're going to miss that leadership in the locker room. You're going to miss we're going to miss number 91. There's no doubt about it. But what we've been able to do to make up for his production, I think was, I don't think you can do much better than what John Lynch has done to this point so far.
No, I think he's done a great job. There hasn't been a single signing that anyone's been like, what the fuck? Everyone's been, this is great.
Yeah.
And the thing that troubles me the most, right? When you look at Eric Armstead, 2015, 16 games, and then it was 8, 6, and then he came back strong, 16, 16, 16, 7. And then the last 2 years, 9 games, 12 games, especially down the stretch. This guy was hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when we really needed the guy to, he was out. The whole last quarter of the season, he was out.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, you're going away from a guy who has a lot of injuries, and you're picking up so many other players like we're seeing right here. You're looking at 4 quality players that are brought in the wake of the loss of Eric Armstead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's huge. That's how you capitalize on that cap space.
Yes.
It really shows you that they had a plan going into free agency, and they knew what they wanted to execute on post Armstead. And look at the return on investment. It's incredible what they've been able to do with that salary. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So we know that the defensive line has been refortified. Obviously, they still need to address the linebacker issue because right now they don't have. They're short 2 linebackers basically. You're down Dre Greenlaw and you're down Oren Burks because he's a free agent. So now you got to look at how do we acquire another linebacker that we can at least start, along with maybe drafting one or using whoever we have down on the roster. Let me see, top linebacker free agents.
Kind of what we had talked about in our previous podcast about them trying to find that replacement for Dre Greenlaw. Eric Kendricks, obviously, for the moment, we thought was going to be that piece. I don't know what happened, prior to him signing. Obviously, he made the decision to go elsewhere, but I think you had it right on the money, Andre. I think we were looking to really solidify that second linebacker spot while we were missing Dre Greenlaw. And Eric was supposed to play that veteran he's been on really, really great defenses, Minnesota, San Diego, or LA, excuse me. And that was going to be that placeholder until Dre Greenlaw arrives. Now, I know we had talked about Aziz Al-Shaair from Tennessee. I don't think we would have been able to sign him. I think he was demanding too much money. He goes,
he wanted a home.
D'Amico, where he's familiar. So, great for D'Amico, great for the Texans, and great for Aziz. But obviously,
how about
now,
the Texans, though?
I think
the Texans,
yes, they're going to be scary good.
They're loaded up, and they have Al-Shaair, and then didn't they land Daniil Hunter as well?
Yes.
Yeah. This is a fucking stacked team.
Back too. They got
they're going to be fucking good.
Who was the running back they got? Let me see.
What's the dude? Was it? No, hang on. Let me think about that. You can look it up, but
let me see.
It was. I know it's a solid running back. It's bolstering. Their run game.
Can't think of it right now.
But him and getting Daniil Hunter and then getting Aziz Al-Shaair, that's huge for the defense. Now what we got to do is, I think what you're exactly right. I think the depth is lacking in free agency in the linebacker piece. So now you look to the draft.
So they re-signed Dalton Schultz. They got Daniil Hunter. Danico Autry, that's another resign.
They re-signed him, yeah.
They got a corner. I thought they got a run. Al-Shaair.
They did get a running back. Let me see.
This is taking too long. I think I'm looking at everyone they signed. I think it's an
Who's the running back? Who's the running back?
Give me the fucking running back.
Now we're stuck on running backs.
It didn't even have it in here either. Fuck. Well, Daniel, look that up if you don't mind, because I'm trying to do a lot of different things here.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
So here is the top linebackers for the 49ers that they could be looking towards for free agency. When you look down this list, number one, Levante David. I know that they've been connected to Levante David, and I think that that would be freaking awesome if they were able to sign Levante David. I just think that he's probably going to want.
I believe he re-signed with.
Oh, that's right, he did. He just re-signed with the Buccaneers, so he is off the market. And to me, I didn't think he was going to get away anyway.
Yeah.
There's another guy, though. Let's see. We got Tremont Edmonds. Bobby Wagner, when he signed, he went to the Commanders, who are looking to get older. They're just signing a lot of old people. I was like, God damn, Al-Shaair.
Yeah.
There's this dumb fuck. I forever will not like Eric Kendricks.
Yeah, no,
Howie Kendrick, I'm gonna call him.
That's a big middle finger.
Nicholas Morrow is out there. Devin Bush is out there. So there is some quality guys that are still out there that they can make a move for. But it's a matter of who are they going to go after? They got to get somebody out. Van Der Esch, who has a bad neck. They have to get somebody who can hold down the line. While the linebacker core, because look, getting a guy like Eric Kendricks was good because he was a veteran linebacker, and he had decent stats. He had worked with Brandon Staley before, so
I think he would have been a good scheme fit. He would have been a great scheme fit.
And then he fucking left.
He was a captain.
He was a captain. Thank you. And then he fucking left. Unfucking
whatever.
Fuck
he might have just verbally agreed and used it as a ploy to kind of do what he wanted.
Yeah, and maybe got a little bit more money from Dallas. Yeah,
could be.
Especially when they haven't done really anything. That's the only move they made was to take Eric Kendricks away from the Niners. That's all they've done.
I'm sure they're stoked about that. They're like, yeah, we got him from the Niners.
They're probably pissed they gave up a 4th round pick for Trey Lance.
I know.
They're like, man, this guy does suck. Oh my gosh.
They also did tender a 2nd round contract to Juwan Jennings. That would give him, I think that's going to earn him about, was it $4.75 million? So if a team does sign him, they're looking to pay him over $5 million a year, which I don't think he's going to get. I think he's going to stay right here with the Niners for one more year.
And at a second round tender. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just don't see a team, spending that much money on Juwan Jennings. It's sad because if we would have won that game, he would have won Super Bowl MVP.
I got it.
Yeah.
Who is it?
They traded for Joe Mixon.
Oh, that's right.
Oh boy! Wow, I had to squeeze that one out.
Yeah, no, I
totally fucking. I was like,
that position. I just couldn't remember who it was.
Oh my god,
they are
stacked. I was down the rabbit hole.
They are stacked on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And not to mention you got CJ Stroud going into his 2nd year, and he was fucking amazing in his rookie year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was
they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Guys, we have 34 watching right now. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so yet, become a member of the channel or join us over on Patreon to help support the channel. But Juwan Jennings, I think, is going to stick around. I don't see him getting a bigger contract than what they just gave him. And so I think he's going to be with us next year. And I hope he is, because he was really good.
Yeah, you would need to give up a 2nd round pick in order to sign Juwan Jennings.
And that's a lot.
That's a high value.
Yeah. Well, hopefully,
and they knew that too. They were like, "Nah, here we'll do that."
Worst case scenario, you flip it and draft another wide receiver in the 2nd round to make up for it. But no, he's sticking around. BA sticking around. I'm very confident they're going to get something done to ensure Brandon Ayuk's a Niner for the foreseeable future. But this is great for our wide receiver core, for our offense, for Brock Purdy, all the way around. Guys that he's familiar with already.
Yeah.
Changing too many faces around him offensively. And just what he contributes in the blocking game, for the run game, as well as blocking for his fellow receivers, and just his grit and tenacity and toughness. He also brings that nastiness to the wide receiver position. I think it's great having him come back.
Absolutely.
He has great hands too.
He does.
Great hands.
The Niners have had this crazy streak of just getting these your third string wide receivers that, they don't have gaudy numbers, but when the time comes, they make the catches, and they make very important, crucial catches too on top of that. So this is great. This is great for continuity on the offensive side.
Absolutely. And then we have some more breaking news. George Odom has been re-signed. He's coming back on a 2-year contract, or was it 2 years or 1 year contract? Let me see. On a 2-year extension worth a maximum of $10.8 million per year. He was a great special teamer, and he's one of the backup safeties as well. I'm glad they were able to bring him back. That was well worth it. So that was another big bring back for the 49ers. Guys, what do you think about this move about bringing back George Odom?
No, it's great. Special teams, we've kind of been in the bottom half of the league the last couple of years with special teams. It's important for us to keep this depth for our special teams. He's definitely a main contributor, and then he can also back up, at the safety position where we don't have that much depth. We're very young at that position. I know he's not that old as well too. He's been on the team for a few years now. He understands the scheme and understands his role. So I think this is a great guy to keep around.
Daniel, what do you think?
I think it's awesome. I mean, that was one of the first few things that the Niners did in free agency was get this thing, tied up. You're right. He is an awesome special teamer. You said, he plays in the secondary. Our new defensive coordinator is a secondary centric kind of, DC. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So it's one of his guys. So it's good that they're making that happen, and I think he's going to continue to contribute to the team.
Definitely,
So, awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Dre, I just want to comment on your swag, dude. I like the look. It kind of has that like Italian stallion look.
It isn't me just getting off work, baby. So I'm just glad I made it back in time for the show.
Yeah,
I had no time to change into the gear, so just
I thought it was an actual like a zip up or button up maybe. But yeah, it kind of has that look, you know what I mean? Where he's just like,
hey, Pesci, Joe Pesci.
That's my boy right there.
Hey, you gonna serve me some coffee here? What's going on?
Yeah.
Some coffee.
Yeah, I love that scene in the Goodfellas. He goes, "So why am I funny?
Oh,
yeah.
What's so fucking funny about me?
What am I, a clown? I'm here to amuse you."
Yeah.
Tell me what's so fucking funny. I like how they end it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I thought I had him. You may fold under questioning. But let's go with some breaking news. We got breaking news. Miami Dolphins are releasing Xavier Howard. I think the Niners should go after this guy and be like, dude, come on over here and be the other corner next to Charvarius Ward. I think he'd be a great addition to the Niners defense if they were to get Xavier Howard. What do you guys think?
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm pretty sure he got picked up today too.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's shoot.
Look it up. Look it up.
Too. I'm almost positive he got.
He didn't. I don't think so. Let me see. I spelled his name.
Oh, you know
too.
what?
No, he just got released
Today.
Yeah.
There was another. Then I'm thinking of a different cornerback thing. I'm pretty sure there was another cornerback that went already. I thought
there was another one. This wasn't it.
I thought it was Xavier Howard. I'm obviously mistaken. But that would be that would be great. He would already solidify himself as the number 2 starting cornerback. You slide Diamador Lenore into the slot position, and then I think the secondary would be set at that point.
Again, he's a second round pick out of Baylor, 6'1", 203. He's 30 years old, so even if you got him on like a 2-year deal, he still wouldn't be, too old. I think he's still in his prime right now. Looking at his overall stats, this is a guy that hasn't missed a lot of games in the past. 4 years. He played 13 games. Yeah, he had a rough patch early on. He was like, and then 16, 15, then 13 last season. And his best season came in 2020 where he had 10 interceptions. Jesus Christ. And then 5 interceptions and then 1 and 1. So what happens is that you have 10 one year, then you have 5 the next because they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't throw it as much. And then he's got 1 and 1 because they're like, don't throw his way at all.
Yeah.
Don't even throw it over there.
Well, look at him.
That was like back in the day when Kaepernick would throw it and Richard Sherman would pick him off. You'd be like, fuck Kaepernick.
Every time.
You'd be like, damn it. And then inside you'd be like, fucking Cap, dude, he told you don't throw it over there. Why are you doing that for?
Obviously, too, it'd be a great scheme fit coming from a similar defense and kind of a similar style team from the Dolphins. I think it would be a seamless fit. But obviously would definitely solidify and hold down the second half of the field. Him and Charvarius would make a great tandem. This is somebody that you could definitely see the Niners looking to solidify the back end of the defense.
Absolutely. And we have some more breaking news.
This is beautiful.
The Raiders are releasing Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay,
no way.
We all saw that coming.
Is he going to come back and back up Brock Purdy?
I fucking hope not. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine if they would have brought it? Can you imagine if they brought him back? Oh my God. I'd be like, what are you doing?
No.
Yeah,
it's not.
no.
Yeah, that's not happening.
No.
It's good.
Jimmy Garoppolo. And then he cost us a draft pick because he didn't play as well and he got benched.
Yeah.
He continues to fuck us over. And also, guys, I just want to remind you, I am giving away this Jimmy Garoppolo jersey to the next member of my channel who becomes a second tier level. you will get a free Jimmy Garoppolo jersey for doing that. So I appreciate
That's
it.
pretty cool,
if you
man.
if you got a wife or a girlfriend's birthday coming up, yeah, that'll
You want something to burn your fireplace? You want to get that fire started? I got a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey right here. You can do whatever you want with it. It could be your oil rag. You could dry your dog off. You can give him a bath.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. Jimmy Garoppolo is
plus
your
he
answer.
got suspended for the first 2 games of the season.
Oh Lord, for PEDs, yeah.
Oh, I know. Niner Flies, I wouldn't mind him being a backup who knows the system. I get that, but I think the relationship that him and Kyle Shanahan have, it would not be a good fit. I mean, at the end of the year of 2 years ago, he basically had moved on. He wasn't even returning calls. He was out of the locker room. He was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know what? If the Niners would have won that game without Brock, this fucker would have been, oh, I'm back. Let's go. Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm here.
let's go. Yeah, I'm healthy.
Let's go.
Who wants to race? Like, oh, no.
And then, oh, man, I know we're talking about football, but, man, have you guys seen this shit? Let me show you this. So this is Mike Tyson, right? He's getting ready to fight.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Logan
Mike.
Paul? Or no, Jake Paul.
Jake
One of
Paul,
those two fuckers, yeah. And this is, he posted this today. Check this shit out. Watch.
It's day one. The fun just begun.
I hope he fucking knocks out Jake Paul so bad.
Everybody should.
Everybody does.
That's the Iron Mike, dude. Come on, Mike Tyson. He's a legend.
And it's going to be on fucking Netflix.
In Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone
It's
is,
not even a pay-per-view event. It's just like,
dude.
let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it's not a pay-per-view event,
I
that means
can't
that
wait.
they got all the money up front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be
Quite
incredible.
Quite the spectacle.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
speaking of, we're talking about players that are asking a lot of money. And the Niners did have to part ways with Eric Armstead in order to save cap space. When we look at the players that have the highest cap hits on a team and this year in 2024, take a look at this shit right here. This is unfucking believable. Imagine if you're the Browns. You have Deshaun Watson, $63.9 million cap hit.
Holy shit.
That's why you don't hear the Browns making a lot of moves.
You got Dak Prescott, 59.4. Kyler Murray,
God.
51.4. Is it? Are you telling me?
Daniel Jones, highway robbery.
Dude,
Daniel
how
Jones?
the hell did he
Oh
swindle
my
that one?
goodness. Oh Lord, the Giants are.
This is
kicking
probably
themselves.
the back end of his deal where it just gets out of control, and none of them restructure. They were just like, oh fuck, this is the deal we signed.
Daniel Jones, of all guys.
There's no turning back now, guys.
Yeah, it's
what,
over.
What happened there? Jesus.
I don't know.
Wow.
You know
Wow.
what? I remember when Daniel Jones was coming into the league, the Mannings really liked him, and they were talking to the ownership and kind of pumping him up. And then he gets his huge contract. I don't think he's even. I wouldn't even consider him a top 10 quarterback for that kind of fucking money. I mean, come on, dude. You got.
I wouldn't even consider him like a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah,
All
he's
those
on.
guys-
Yeah,
those-
he's
yeah,
he's
all
on the
those guys-
bubble there.
No, Daniel Jones, no playoffs. Kyler Murray, no playoffs. Dak Prescott out in the first round. Deshaun Watson didn't even suit up in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford, one and done in the playoffs. Highway
Really?
robbery, bro. Highway robbery.
Unbelievable. These guys are just robbing
Wow.
teams. All right, let's move on. Joe Flacco has signed with the
Hey.
Indianapolis Colts.
Interesting.
Smoking Joe. Actually, that's Jay Cutler. Or Smoking Jay. But Joe Flacco with the Colts. Who's their fucking quarterback right now?
It was Gardner Minshew at the end of the season, but it's that one
Oh.
rookie that played maybe 5 or 6 games.
Before that, it was like
Rico.
Jacoby Brissett. They're like the all backup quarterback team. They're like, come on, guys, let's do it.
What was it?
Come
What was
on.
it? Richards. That
Oh
rookie?
yeah. He was a rookie last year.
Mhm. But he only played like Anthony Richards.
Oh, that's right. And he got hurt.
He
got hurt,
He suffered
yeah.
like 3 concussions in the first game and never played after that. I don't even know what.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this ain't college. They hit way harder.
Give him
man.
the Trey Lance treatment, man. You last 4 games and you're done.
Yeah. Well, that's good for Flacco, man. I think he'll make a serviceable second or third stringer.
That means Gardner Minshew's looking for a job.
He got signed.
He's on the Raiders.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's on the Raiders. Now that was a guy based on his price. If Gardner Minshew would have came to the Niners for like a 1 year deal, I would love him as the backup.
Absolutely.
He's the all-time best backup right now.
I think so.
He is a great backup. He's like, yeah. But I mean,
like he's resigned himself to that. He's like, yeah, I'm a hella good backup. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
he's a badass backup. But I mean, if you look at the Raiders, they got Gordon Minshew and that kid, was it O'Connell?
Aiden
like their own, Aiden, as the only two quarterbacks like competing. It's like, man, you can't be too happy about that.
They're drafting a QB. They got no choice.
They got Aiden O'Connell. That's the guy they drafted. Wasn't he like a third round?
Doing it again, bro. They're doing it again.
They're gonna do it again. It's just keep on swinging.
It's like the Matt Cousins 1 year and then Kyler Murray the next year, baby. It's
unbelievable, dude. Like they just can't. They just cannot get it right. The Raiders. I don't know what it is.
Nope.
All right,
let's win, baby. Just lose.
Just win. Just win. Speed kills.
Crack
kills. Oh no.
Who was that guy? Darius Hayward Bay. Remember that guy?
Oh yeah. Oh dude. Yeah.
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell. All right, let's move on. Calvin Ridley has finally signed. He'll be signing with the Tennessee Titans for 4 years, $92 million, $50 million guaranteed. This is from Adam Schefter. Good for the Titans. Not that I really give a shit.
I mean, he's.
I think that's a good signing.
Immediately is now their number one receiver. I think who's better than him on Tennessee right now.
Exactly. Who's got it better than us?
I mean, they had to. They have no wide receiver depth. They've lost all their depth at that position.
Yeah, and you can tell he's not going there because they have a premier quarterback.
No,
he just got paid. Exactly. And let's go earn a paycheck and hopefully win some games. I mean,
he came from the Jaguars.
Well, the year before that, he was out of the league for gambling. Didn't even suit up.
Yeah,
he didn't even suit up. So he's like, "Oh yeah, I can put down a lot of bets."
You can see that.
And then you got Trent Baalke, who's the GM of the Jaguars. He's like, "Oh, he got away.
He got away.
I thought we could have signed him.
I told you not to say that."
And fuck Jim Harbaugh.
I hate the Chargers.
Dude, we signed him so we could beat the Chargers.
We're a draft and develop team.
Oh Lord,
he checks all the boxes. That's what we're gonna do. One of these nights on the DreArea Sports Show, we're gonna go over the inaugural speech or interview with Jim Tomsula. That was just like the biggest train wreck ever. I was like, no.
That poor guy.
Dark days.
Those were the dark days.
Those were the dark ages.
On top of the world and then just crash and burn.
We had the
And then who they get after that?
Chip Kelly,
and before that was Mike Singletary, I think.
Singletary, and then in between there, didn't we have Dennis Erickson for a little bit? Or I don't know. There was some.
Dennis Erickson came after Mooch, but Dennis Erickson was god awful, man.
Yeah, he was awful. Yeah, so it just
terrible.
Man, Mike Nolan.
Mike
Nolan. I mean, he wasn't as bad, but
our defense was fine. He could do nothing offensively, and the guys he picked to run the offense just couldn't do anything. I'm trying to think of who his offensive coordinators were. He had a very small stint with the Niners as a head coach. I think he only coached like 3 years, then he was done.
Yeah. Was he also the GM? Did he do both roles?
Who?
No. Nolan wasn't. Nolan.
Yeah, he was. He was a GM as well for a short time. But he also had he also had an assistant GM. It was the guy who's with the Chiefs right now. Actually, he was with the Commanders. What was his name? He had a drinking problem too. But basically, like he helped to make all those decisions, and then he ended up going somewhere else. He was like, "Fuck this guy." He goes, I remember Tom. I remember the 49ers haters were calling Tom Sula Ron Jeremy. They were, man. It was so.
Oh Lord.
Oh, it was so brutal. It was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
He just looked funny too, poor guy.
Meatball walking through the campus.
Oh man! Oh, then he farted live at a press conference, and
just ripped ass.
I
just
remember
ripped ass.
Yeah.
At the
played it off pretty well.
The NFL Combine, he just looked hilarious. He looked like
he wore that
dinner,
fucking blue button up. Yeah, it was like he's like, hey, after the game, we're gonna go over to Olive Garden. We're gonna have a Zuppa Toscana.
No.
Right now, they're offering bottomless soup.
It's all you can eat salad and breadsticks.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go.
Here's a little bit of it right here. The way they framed this too was like, fuck.
I'm excited.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
On the other side of the bay, as you know, Jim
Jesus.
is the new head coach of.
Let me jump ahead.
Oh Jesus.
What if I throw a name out?
Yeah, well,
Mark Trust. It's someone you might know, right? That's maybe the best you can give me. Same question to the coordinator. Give me an idea of what you're looking for. I'm not trying to trip you up.
Yeah, I'm really not going to talk about. I'm just not going to do it out of respect to those people.
No,
I know. Then we play the name game, but then you know what I mean. I just don't want to get on that road.
Okay.
He was so unprepared, and you just saw Jack Del Rio get hired by the Raiders, and over here to the left, it's like Bears hired John Fox, and then you look over, it's like we hired this fucking guy. I mean, I'm sure he was a really nice guy.
I mean, the questions this reporter's asking him. Oh, give me some names that you're gonna hire. It's like, what do you expect him to say? Well, I want to hire, this guy. No, I mean, I don't blame him for saying that. But that's a bullshit question right there.
Yeah.
He was just fucking drilling him too.
Yeah. You could tell he wanted to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, shit.
Next question.
Yeah. It was either that or, when you go back to the Mike Singletary days when you'd say, I have to watch the film. I have to check the film. Like, how many times are you going to say that? How many times are you going to say that?
Are you not
Why do you
watching
have to check the
what
film?
Your team is doing?
Yeah. Or even with Kaepernick, remember he was like, I just gotta play better. I gotta play better. And finally, I think it was Lowell Cohn was like, what does that mean? You keep saying that, but what does that mean? It just means I gotta play better. What do you mean? I was just like, oh god. Elaborate.
Yeah, let's get a little bit more detail here. Didn't he
God.
have like a whole run where he didn't really talk to reporters like post
Who, Kaepernick?
Yeah, wasn't it Cap who did that?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, he just turned into a
refused to talk to the media. Yeah.
Yeah, total dick.
Yeah.
Total dick.
I always say that Cap brought back the bounce pass.
The bounce pass.
Holmes has the no look pass. Cap has the bounce.
Yeah. You want it? I'm going to throw it to your ankle. Why? What are you doing?
That first year, though, man, I'm telling you, that first year when we went to the Super Bowl, he was really good. Throwing fucking lasers.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. And then the defense realized, he only has one read.
That's all he has.
The first or second read is money, but after that,
and then Harbaugh
and not only that, but
he really sucked after that.
When he came up with the team, he had a stacked offense. He had Vernon Davis, Crabtree.
Yeah.
He had all kinds of good players around him, so it was easy for him to show off his talents. Once that talent started to leave, then it was like, uh-oh.
Yep. He's like, wait, I gotta make more than one or two reads.
Oh yeah, that and the defenses started figuring out, and that was starting at the end of the Harbaugh era. Once Cap started sucking.
Yeah,
it makes you wonder too. If he was good and he didn't just deteriorate, would he still be around? Like, would Harbaugh have stayed there longer because they would have found more success and there'd be less losing and less finger pointing? But who the fuck really knows? I don't know. Let's move on. Oh shit, I didn't do it right. There we go. Oh shit. There it is. Breaking news, Kyle Juszczyk has restructured his contract. to a team-friendly deal. He has saved us. Where the fuck did it go? He has saved us about $1.75 million against the team's cap. I mean, every dollar counts, I guess. So it was like, hey, good job. Thanks a lot. Kyle Juszczyk, juice.
$1 million.
But here's the thing.
I love that guy.
I love him too. I think every Niner fan loves this guy. But and the thing with him, with Kyle Juszczyk, is that let's say that the Niners say, okay, you know what? We're going to part ways with you. We're going to let you hit free agency. I don't think he gets a contract that he's getting now. I don't think he's going to make the same amount of money he's making now with a different team.
There's not a lot of offensive schemes that even utilize a fullback. So he would have to either change positions or he would have to.
Neither do we.
Yeah, well, that too.
I mean, we hardly ever use the guy, but he's there. Like he gets paid all this money just to shuffle.
21 personnel, which the Niners like to run.
This is what he does. He just shuffles from left to right. Then occasionally he catches a pass, and when he does, everyone goes fucking ape shit. But no, I love having him. And Niner Flag says, so fucking happy they kept Juice. So am I.
Hell yeah.
He's a badass.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's a leader on the team, and he's just a gamer. What the hell?
He can get short yardage runs. Pass catcher. He can beat linebacker coverage. He's a Swiss Army knife for our offense.
Yeah, he's probably the best fullback in the league.
Yeah, great. I mean, great blocker. I mean, always has been since day one, since he first arrived. But like you said, great leader, special teams, everything. He brings everything to the table. He's just one of those pieces that you don't see us getting any better at that position, going to somebody else. And no, I think it was the right move. And I think he wanted to still be around, which is why
absolutely. Guys, we have 47 people watching, guys. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Nicotina. That is the home channel. If you want just DreArea sports content, we have that channel as well. That's the DreArea Sports Show, and you'll find that on YouTube as well. But guys, anyone who's watching right now, do me a favor and please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a member or joining us over on Patreon. And we also have merchandise down below from teespring.com. All three are great ways to support the channel, but the easiest way is by smashing the like button. So thank you to everyone who's watching, who's commenting as well. You guys kick ass.
Oh yeah, all of you.
So let's take a look at I already did it. Let's take a look at this right here. So this is some really good stats. Here you got Malik Collins, right? Since 2022, he's got 85 QB pressures, 18 QB hits, and 8.5 sacks.
That's production.
My question is this. When you put him on a line with Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave, and you got Leonard Floyd, this is only going to open doors for this fucking guy to wreak havoc in the middle.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Guys like these guys like Gross Matos, they're all going to eat. Like I said, with the talent around them, this is only just going to bolster and make our defensive line even more productive. Pass rush or run game. I really believe that these guys are all going to have meaningful downs, meaningful snaps. They're all going to be productive. They're all going to get their numbers. This is going to be a well-balanced and a well-rounded defensive line. I think even from previous years, I think we're getting guys that fit our scheme. We're getting the right guys. I think John Lynch really did his homework prior to the free agency beginning.
Absolutely.
Defensive line. We know it starts with them. It starts with pressure. I think Collins, who is it? Who else? Elliott and Gross Matos, all great additions. And Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd. What else can you say about him?
And we got that like Givens, right? He's another.
And then bringing back Givens too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Givens has a backup. He did. Yep. What's up, boys? What's up, Tucker?
What's up, man? What's up?
Good to see you here. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so here's a question I wanted to ask you guys because, now, especially now that Kendrick has left, look, I know that they're looking to replace him with another linebacker, but Khalil Mack just restructured his contract. He's staying with the San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers, and he's staying there. What do you think the possibilities are that we see This guy right here. What is the possibilities that we see Joey Bosa on the Niners?
I don't know what the chances are for him to actually land with the Niners. I know the chances of him being cut so that the Chargers can save that money for this year. I think that's pretty much a done deal. They haven't announced him hitting the free agent market yet, but I think as we get down the line through free agency, I think eventually he will be available. Now, for the Niners, I think you do have to do your due diligence. I think you should look into it, and I know John Lynch will, as they look into mostly all free agents. But this could be a something that could put the defense over the edge. I know he's injury prone. I know he's missed a lot of games recently. He's getting up there in age. I believe he's 28 years old, going to be 29. The production is there. I think he can find some newfound motivation. I think maybe it's due for a change of scenery for him, just to get back to refocus and be the productive playmaker that we were accustomed to seeing him be. I think with the depth the Niners would have, I think that would loosen the burden on him as well, and hopefully keep him on the field. You gotta take a look at it, and to pair him and Nick Bosa, I mean that's a nightmare for any QB.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're playing, let's say you have because you can have him in the rotation with Leonard Floyd as well, and then you can move him to the other side if you want to give Nick Bosa a break. Then you bring in Joey Bosa. You know, I think it still adds depth, and I think he wants to play with his brother. They've both said that that's one of the dreams is that they want to play together on the same defensive line. I say that if he wants to come here for a 1-year contract, at a great deal, obviously the one that we can afford, I would absolutely bring this guy on.
Yeah.
Imagine having him in the rotation.
Yeah, and especially where he's at in his career, I think he's more motivated to win a championship rather than look for his next big contract. So I think it works on both sides.
Hey, Tucker has a good point right here. Make or break season for Drake Jackson next year. If Bosa is signed, they've made their decision on Drake already. Yes, if Bosa becomes available and the Niners sign him, then Drake Jackson is expendable. He'll likely get cut, or he'll just get traded or cut in the preseason. But if we get Bosa, then that's pretty much a wrap for Drake Jackson. It really hasn't. He hasn't done much.
Yeah,
and I think you're seeing the Chargers waiting on cutting to see if there's a team interested in trading for him.
Exactly.
Well, so that's why they're not letting him go right away, most likely.
Well, and not only that, but I think that what they're doing is to say, look, there's been a lot of talk about him going to San Francisco. There might be teams that are going to swoop in and say, hey, we want to trade for him because we don't want him to go to San Francisco. Teams like the Seahawks, the Rams,
holding him out there,
the Chiefs, the Ravens, and just teams that they know, that the Eagles, teams that they need to get past the Niners. Now the Eagles did pick up Saquon Barkley, so that's a huge addition for the Eagles to get Saquon Barkley with Jalen Hurts.
CJ Gardner-Johnson too, as well too.
Yeah, they brought back CJ Gardner-Johnson, that little fucker. They brought him back because their secondary was fucking shot last year.
Absolutely garbage.
So
trash.
They're actually going to get better. They got better this offseason. So I think what we saw in the first half of the season, you're going to see a lot more of that. They're going to be a team to reckon with, especially with Saquon Barkley in the backfield.
They got better.
Green Bay got better. They got a new running back.
Josh Jacobs. 3 down back to and a great catching running back. Yeah, they cut Aaron Jones, who's now with the
Vikings,
Minnesota Vikings. So a lot of running back shuffling going on right now. Mixon to Houston, Derrick Henry to Baltimore. A lot of running backs on new teams. So
that's a big signing there. Derrick Henry to Baltimore.
Yeah,
that's fucking huge.
Dude, if you're Lamar Jackson, you're like, thank God.
Well,
I need
somebody. Fuck.
Over.
They gotta bring in a main wide receiver, and then you still have Mark Andrews at the tight end position. So
where
they would get scary is if because like Mike Williams from the Chargers, he got cut today. That saved them about 24 or $20 million.
Very interesting.
They need a receiver, and that's and not only that, but Baltimore, exactly, Tucker. Baltimore, they called the Niners about a trade for Deebo Samuel, and they said
Fuck
no.
that.
They said no.
Fuck
Like, no.
that. No. You're not going to get no Debo over there.
Well, let me ask you guys this. This is something that we were talking about before the show, Daniel and I. What do you think about a trade if you traded Brandon Ayuk to the Vikings for Justin Jefferson? That would be fucking huge.
Oh,
no brainer. That's a no brainer.
I think it would have to be Brandon Ayuk and like
and a second,
second or third round pick.
Yeah.
It would be a third round because they have a ton of them. They'd be like, here, take a third. You want a second one? You know?
To get a player of that caliber, I think anybody's expendable.
Right.
The only thing is
you would imagine that whatever Jefferson is going to get paid, that's kind of close to what you're going to have to pay Ayuk on the extension.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and you figure, but the problem is that look, let me share this with us. Is when you look at his contract, he's making $19 million this year. This is Justin Jefferson. That's a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's got nobody to throw him the ball in Minnesota as of now. So
19 million, right?
He may want to leave. He may want out.
It's Sam Darnold.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Sam Darnold.
He's their,
man.
He's their most veteran quarterback, I think, on their roster right now. So
yeah, that's right. They still got Mullins, right?
Yeah, they got Nick Mullins. So they're slowly but surely trying to recreate the Niners roster of cast-offs. Josh Dobbs. He's good. He had a good year. So you look at Brandon Ayuk. He's making $14 million this year. This is the end of his contract. So you got cheap. Oh God. Fuck.
Yeah.
So that's why he's saying, hey, why don't we do the extension? If you do the extension, then you're going to get this pattern all over again. Where he gets cheap, expensive, and then it's through the roof. So you're looking at $14 million for Brandon Ayuk if you don't give him the extension and rework his contract, and then you're looking at Justin Jefferson making $19 million. That's a lot of fucking money. But looking at it from just a talent standpoint, I would fucking take Jefferson in a heartbeat. Imagine having Justin Jefferson and Deebo Samuel lining up as your receivers. You're just like, as a defense, you're like, man, this fucking sucks.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, this is whack. Why'd I wake up today? If you trade Deebo to the Ravens for a first-round pick, you have back-to-back picks at 30 and 31. Could package to Denver for Surtain. I just don't think it's worth losing Deebo, who's already signed, for Surtain. And nor do I think it's worth Surtain for Brandon Ayuk, because you still, like, if you get rid of Ayuk, who's going to replace him? You could draft somebody, but he's a premier receiver. It'd be one thing if you're trading Juwan Jennings for Patrick Surtain. That's a different story. It's like, okay, well, he's our third receiver. I get it, but Surtain would be a guy that'd be a huge fucking game changer.
Yeah,
I mean, and you can say, hey, the Niners could draft a wide receiver, but you don't see that many wide receivers make a huge impact in their first year. I mean, you really got to be a standout kind of guy to do that. So it's not a guarantee. You can get wide receivers all over the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You can. So, I mean, I get the trade, but I wouldn't trade either one of our receivers for a defensive player. If you're talking about, hey, we'll trade you Brandon Ayuk for Justin Jefferson, and Ayuk would probably be easier to re-sign for the Vikings than Justin Jefferson, who's already pissed off. But I think talent level wise, that would be a huge upgrade. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just speculating here. Guys, we have 50 people watching. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Right. So I wanted to pull this up too, because I thought this was actually really cool. This puts a comparison to Eric Armstead to Malik Collins, especially over the last 3 seasons. This comes courtesy of Coach Yak. If you haven't followed Coach Yak on Twitter or X, definitely do so. The guy has some phenomenal stats and content. So let's take a look at this real quick. Can you guys read that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so Armstead games in the last 3 seasons, he's had 38 games. Collins 46 games, 11 sacks, 11 sacks. QB hits. Armstead 28. Malik Collins 35. Pressures 148 by Armstead, 116 by Collins. Tackles 107. Tackles for Armstead 101. Tackles for loss 13 by Armstead, 26 for Malik Collins. And that goes to show you right there that not only is he a pass rusher, but he's good against the run. And Armstead was one of our better defensive tackles against the run, and now you replace him with a Malik Collins who has more tackles for loss.
Yeah, it seems like he gets home just a little bit more than Armstead. And as far as already 46 games to 38, so the durability factor. I think, the numbers speak for themselves. It's not that far off as far as the numbers go.
Yeah.
I think he's probably going to get even more production in the run game, to be honest.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. I like the tackle for loss stat there. And if you look at just games played, only 8 more games, over Armstead. So
that's half a season.
Yeah, but still, in the grand scheme of things, it's 8 games, and the stat differential isn't that huge. Yeah. I do like the 148 pressures that Armstead has had.
Yeah,
those can lead to interceptions. So that's what you kind of want to see. So yeah, Armstead obviously did his job when he was healthy. But Collins is a really nice, good comparison and a good fill-in. For an Armstead. So
and I love this too. Signing. He says, I did this for those who didn't know who the fuck Collins is. Similar numbers overall, with Collins missing fewer games. Collins also had more PBUs.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, and interceptions.
Oh, the interception!
Wow.
Ooh.
See, that's interesting. You would think a guy of Armstead's stature and his arm, his arm span, I would assume he would have been leading the league in pass breakups or passes knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Pass deflections.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's something that the Niners don't really work on. They don't really. I'm not saying they don't do it well, but I don't think there's a point of emphasis on trying to knock the ball down. Obviously, when you can't get pressure, that's the next thing. That's the next best thing you do. You look up, you try to get in a passing lane. You try to throw your hands up and knock the ball down. I see other teams doing it to the Niners all the time. I never see that happening a lot during Niner games where the Niners defense are utilizing their size and their last resort to knock the ball down.
I remember seeing
that's something that obviously
season
Collins can bring to the defensive line.
Look at this guy. Come here. Oh, look at Joe Burrow's like, I'm getting rid of this ball. This guy, he has great hands. He's quick. He's forcing the ball out of the quarterback's hands because he's coming right after him.
It looks like he can beat one-on-one coverage, no problem, obviously.
Yeah, get him away. Yeah. So, really, really good stuff. I'm really happy with the signing of Malik Collins. Well, actually, it wasn't a signing. It was a trade with the Texans. And so D'Amico hooked us up. He's like, here, we're not going to be able to sign this guy anyway. Go ahead and take him.
They wanted Autry. That was I know that was a main focus for them to re-sign Autry.
But again, just good quality shit from there we go. From John Lynch in signing these free agents, man. It's incredible what they've done.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting in the draft to see what the next, plan is. This is the first execution of free agency. Now you get into the draft, and they have a game plan for that, and it's going to be exciting to see what these Niners do.
Yeah.
How many pressures did I'm trying to find out how many pressures that Armstead had last year? Fumbles, that's not there. Because it doesn't show it on this thing. Fuck. Pass deflections, he had 0 last year. No, I'm sorry. He had 0 last year. I'm not finding his pressures, but I know that right here it says that Malik had 5 sacks and 48 pressures for the Houston Texans. I almost said Astros. Houston Texans in 2023. And that's great.
Yeah, no, that's great production from a defensive tackle.
Yeah, and Texans had a really good defense too.
Yeah, they did.
They did. They had a very good defense.
Very productive. Very productive.
And then also, too, Deebo Samuel. He's going to be wearing number 1, not number 19 anymore.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, good for him.
I think that was that was the number he had in college, I think, I want to say.
Here is that's what it looks like.
Oh, damn.
Number 1 was originally taken by Jimmy Ward before he left, and then he kept the 19, and then he went to that.
Jimmy.
Hey, there he is. Bill Bunker. He's back. Y'all got Floyd. Solid ad.
Yeah. There. I was hoping
he's
he'd
saying,
come back too.
He says, rumor has it Armstead might sign with the Bills. Well, he's a good player, but he's got that plantar fasciitis, and when he gets cold, that's not a good thing. He's like, he's going to stiffen up. I don't know. And he had that knee injury as well last year, too.
Yeah.
But here is, meniscus. This is what Debo's going to look like wearing number 1. That's cool. Right on for Debo. What's that?
Still Debo.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of receivers going with the single-digit numbers now.
So here's another interesting tidbit from Coach Yak I want to share with you guys. Brian Baldinger, he found this. Brian Baldinger on the 49ers signing of Leonard Floyd. Baldinger writes, it's a big upgrade over Cleveland Farrell and Chase Young, and it's been a while since they got a guy who could win one-on-ones and keep the quarterback hurried. And that's what we're getting out of Leonard Floyd.
Yep.
So fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you add if you add Joey Bosa to that rotation, holy shit.
Yeah.
On any given down, you're going to have the combination of on the ends of Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Leonard Floyd, Nick Bosa. You know what I mean?
It's just
nonstop.
Dude, if you look at Joey Bosa's stats, when he's healthy, that guy puts up fucking numbers.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at his stats real quick.
Let's dabble around.
I mean, look, if he's available, I think they're going to get him. I do.
Yeah,
I even asked Larry Krueger last night. I'm wearing Krueger's shirt. Krug Show.
Hey, there you go.
I messaged him last night, and he responded to me at 1:00 in the morning. I don't know why. I was going to ask him, like, why are you up right now?
Wow.
But I asked him, I said,
coffee?
he's just waking up. But no, I asked him, I said, do you think that if Joey Bosa becomes available, do you think that the Niners will make an effort to get him? He said, yes. Yeah. I mean, especially when you saw the tweet from their mom, who wanted it to happen. Mama Bosa.
Pleading for the Niners to pick up.
I mean, that would be pretty fucking epic.
If we got him, we'd be like. So check this out. A buddy of mine was telling me, he's like, fuck the Niners. They're turning into like the fucking Los Angeles Dodgers of football.
Cool. I'm with it.
I know. I was like, whatever. I was like, but Dodgers don't win anything.
Well, I guess when you think about it that way, yeah.
Okay, so here is, and they have Joey Bosa labeled as a linebacker. So I thought he was a defensive end, but whatever.
Outside linebacker,
Just
and Leonard Floyd is a defensive end, but he looks like more of an outside linebacker because he's lanky, And that's the other thing too, is that let's say you go to a 3-4 lineup where you have for the pass rush, you have Bosa, Hargrave, Bosa, or you have Bosa, was it Malik? But Bosa, you have both Bosas out there. It's nuts. And then Leonard Floyd's an outside linebacker. You know what I mean? It's like holy shit. And you got Gross Matos out there. So last year, let's look what he did last year. I gotta go to stats. So last year, Joey Bosa, he had 10.5 sacks. No, that's not it.
12 games. What?
No, that was 2016. It goes down.
Yeah.
The other one I had NFL. It goes the other way around. So he had 6.5 sacks last year. He only played in 9 games. A year before that, he only played in 5 games. So yeah, injury bug is.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if he doesn't have to be your primary pass rusher, he's a guy that's in your rotation. That makes him so much more deadly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the 3 seasons. He played 16 games.
Yeah.
10.5 sacks.
Yeah.
11.5 sacks.
11.5, 12.5.
10.5. Yeah.
When he's healthy, he's unstoppable.
He's very productive. One of the most productive edge rushers in the league still.
Yeah, but he gets all these fucked up weird injuries, and he's out for like 8-10 games. It's like, fuck me, you don't want something like that. I mean, yeah, he's a good player for sure, he is, and putting him next to his brother Nick would be a scary situation to face if you're a quarterback. Yeah. I'm just a little nervous on his injuries.
Durability.
Durability, you know.
Durability.
He commands a ton of money.
He does, but I think if he comes to San Francisco, he's only going to ask for like a $10 million contract because he wants to play with Nick and Nick Bosa even said earlier the year he was like, I think that Joey's doing pretty good financially. Let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I think he'll come here on a 1-year contract for a decent price. Mm-hmm. Because look, if he comes here and he gets a shit ton of sacks and it has a huge impact, he's going to get a fucking fat contract.
That's true.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way.
I think the writing's on the wall. Yeah, the writing's on the wall. The situation he'd be coming into, he wouldn't have to do so much. He has a chance to play with his brother. He's on a great defensive team, and just another chance, exactly like Andre said, just to have a productive year and then to get back on the market if that's what he chooses he wants to do for his second major contract. I think it makes sense from both sides. The situation.
It'd be interesting, I'll tell you that.
Yes,
I would love to see it.
But I think you would see a rejuvenated Joey Bosa, who would be looking at his defensive line, day in and day out, and realize he doesn't have to be the man. He doesn't have to play every snap. He can work on his durability again, and I mean that puts the Niners defensive line over the top.
Hopefully, keep him fresh.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking about
stay away from the injury bug.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't have to go every down, then he's able to stay fresh. He's able to stay in the rotation and contribute on a healthier level, which is something that he hasn't been able to do over in not San Diego, Los Angeles.
Yeah,
the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego.
That would be nuts, though, because if they were to get Joey Bosa, you would probably assume that the Niners are going to potentially trade some draft picks because they'd be so stacked on the D line. They might be able to make some moves to move up in the draft, just by trading draft picks.
They could trade draft picks to try and acquire a better cornerback. Because we don't want to go with Ambry Thomas. Yeah. That can't be the answer. No. Okay, so one of the things that worries me the most about San Francisco right now is the offensive line. We haven't made any significant improvements on the offensive line. You still have, Trent Williams. You still have
McKivitz, who just re-signed.
They just re-signed McKivitz. Now,
we need guards.
So I was watching Larry's video, and he had a really good point. McKivitz is a very versatile lineman. He could play right guard. He could play right tackle. He could play center. So you can move him around. So that's a guy that's like, hey, if he's in the rotation, this is a good guy. They re-signed Ben Barch, another guy they picked up late in the year. I know they've talked about bringing back Feliciano, but there hasn't been that big impact on the offensive line. But if you look at the guys that that other teams have been signing for the offensive line, they are making a shit ton of money. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I think the Niners are standing idle for the offensive line because, from what I understand, this NFL draft or this college draft class has a load of offensive line talent.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see them get their fair share of O linemen through the draft. That's just my opinion, just because you haven't seen them really go for anybody on the market right now. And I think just because of the plethora of offensive line through the draft, I I think you're going to see them make a lot of O-line moves. Probably
and
early,
you can't forget about
through the middle rounds.
Yeah, you can't forget about Aaron Banks. You know, he's another.
Yeah, Aaron Banks is there.
Yeah,
he had a good season.
He's
he's
really good. He's probably our best offensive lineman at the guard position, in my opinion.
So they got some good elements there. You know, it's just adding to it now.
I'm trying to see offensive line. Okay, so here's a breakdown right here. Let me share this one with you guys, and this is pretty nuts. Okay, so can you guys read that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel's like, fuck no.
I can't see.
There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so
much better.
Cushenberry.
I mean, look at this. Robert Hunt, $100 million, 5 years. That's what he went for. What team was that? Wasn't that? It was this fucking. It was a dumb
from
team.
Miami to Carolina.
Oh yeah,
Carolina, and they made 2 signings like that too. Oh yeah, it's just right there. I had to click on his name like an idiot.
Yeah, Mike recently with New England.
Yeah, 3 years, $57 million.
Damian Lewis from Seattle to Carolina.
But look at these contracts. I mean, you're looking at $50 million for these guys.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And you go down here, Blake Brindle, not Jake, $9 million. And so, and you look at the guys that are still out there. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe no, thank you. David Bakhtiari was a Green Bay Packer. He's 32. He could be somebody that they could look at. I know that they did contact Laken Tomlinson about bringing him back for the offensive line, which I think that would help at right guard. Trenton, but at the same time though, it's like Trent Brown. Even if you went and got him, I mean, look at his market value. Let's take a look at that. He's looking at 3 years, $21 million. What, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So you're paying $7 million a year.
$7 million a year. How about Tyrion Smith? He's 33. Come on, what the fuck?
God, that's like 53 in the NFL.
Look at this. 1 year, $7 million.
Wow, 7.5.
Wow,
it's a lot of fucking money for these guys.
You got to pay to play. You got to pay to play. You got to protect that quarterback.
This fucking thing won't leave me alone.
Discover.
I know, but I mean, these top guys that went. I mean, you're looking at 50 million plus.
Yeah.
And Carolina, they got Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis. I guess their whole scheme is how do we protect?
Yes, they have
to. Bryce Young
got eaten alive last year. He had no.
Well, he's the size of a fucking. He's the size of a slot receiver. You're like, dude, anyone hits that guy, he's gonna be like, oh, you know what he's like? He's like, you remember the game? Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah,
Ghosts and Goblins.
Remember you're wearing armor and you're throwing javelins at the bad guys, and then you get your armor knocked off, and then you're in your underwear and you get hit. You're just bones. That's like fucking Bryce Young. Is like,
that's great.
You're just like, whoa, fuck.
Yep.
We got to block for this guy. They got to do something.
Yeah,
and that organization's so fucked up.
They did,
and they traded Brian Burns.
Yeah, they did a barnyard sale on their team. I mean, holy shit, that defense really got revamped here, I guess. Decimated, rebooted, director's cutted.
He says, with the 31st pick, the 49ers select BYU offensive tackle Kingsley Akuna Matata. I can't say his last name. I'll take it.
Suamatia?
I think that, well, and a lot of guys are saying that, that they wouldn't be surprised if the Niners went defensive tackle in the draft. I think they're still going to look to get an offensive lineman. I think this is the year you go for an offensive lineman, and maybe you trade up to get one of the better offensive linemen out there, like Amarius Mims, out of Georgia. Maybe that's a guy you go out and get. So there are options in the draft, and it's a matter of, do you want to trade some of your draft capital to move up in the draft to get a better offensive lineman, which in this case maybe it is, but the two areas that I see that are still the weakest are your offensive line and the other corner position.
Yeah. No, I think from what I said earlier, because of there being so much depth at the O-line position in the draft, I think you're right. Maybe they package some draft picks or package their earlier rounds to try to move up and maybe go get a shutdown corner in this draft, and then kind of wait and to the back end or to the middle rounds to get your offensive line, which there's depth across the entire draft of O linemen. As far as secondary, I'm not exactly sure what the landscape is for cornerbacks, but I think if you do enough homework, I think there are opportunities to move up to get one of these really good corners early on in the draft, which is another route they could take. Because I think you're right. I think the two weakest points on the team right now are the other cornerback position and the offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, I have another concern though with the Niners is their tight end depth. Yeah. You know, I mean, you got Kittles, but you know, you really don't have a whole lot there. And we've talked about this on previous shows about, you know, the lack of tight end depth. So I wouldn't mind seeing them take another swing at another tight end this year in the draft and see if we can hit one home here. Because having two good tight ends, I mean,
it limits Kittle's production of it as an offensive playmaker because he's expected to block so much because, again, for the lack of the offensive line, for the way we're scheming, I think it takes some offense away because he has to stay home and block so much.
And our previous backup tight end, Charlie Warner, signs a 3-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Let me see if it shows you how much he made a fuck ton of money.
That's interesting.
He did.
That's interesting.
Fuck, $12 million.
Wow, $4 million a year.
Yeah, $4 million a year for Charlie Warner, who probably didn't make that much last year at all.
Interesting,
but still, I mean, he signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
And I saw
Kirk Cousins, baby.
There was something about him that they're reuniting him with someone else that's on that team. I don't know. Maybe a college connection they had.
Interesting.
I don't know.
But no, I think that's something they definitely need to address either via free agency or through the draft because there is absolutely no depth at the tight end position where we stand currently.
and then did you guys see this? It says the Commanders signing Eckler, Bobby Wagner, and Zach Ertz in 2024.
Oh my god!
Of course, this fucking thing doesn't want to do it.
Well, was this like for a TV commercial or something?
Yeah, I think they filmed the commercial. This was backstage.
Yeah. They must have.
No, let me refresh it.
Fucking Jerry Rice.
Hey. All right, yeah. Old guys.
Yeah, we gonna get something.
You looking good. Yeah, where's Emmett? There he is. I was waiting for him.
He's hella pissed.
Zach Ertz, I'm here.
Freaking Jerry Rice is the hype guy, man. He's like, yeah, come on,
He's happy to do anything. He's like, fuck yeah.
That guy loves life, man. I love Jerry Rice.
And then last but not least, guys, I just want to bring this up again. The next person who becomes a second tier member of the channel, you will get a free Jimmy Garoppolo jersey, which you can use for anything at home, for washing dishes, starting the fire, starting the barbecue. Yeah, your dog pees on the floor. This shirt is yours. You can wear it with pride. Jimmy G was a good quarterback for the Niners.
Hey, if you're thinking of juicing that day, you can throw that jersey.
So if you sign up today, become a member of the channel, you will get a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey as long as you live within the greater United States. Sometimes there's a time in the past where I'll do a giveaway on my channel, and then the person who signs up lives in like India or lives in like Australia. You're like, oh, well, I'm not gonna send it there, but still. If you're in the mood of throwing a pick in the backyard, if you're in the mood to throw a pick in the backyard. Oh my god!
Oh, that's good. I like that.
But no, I mean, look, the Commanders are making moves. They're trying to get better, guys. We have 56 people watching. Guys, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a member or joining us over on Patreon. Well, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap things up for the show. Unless you guys have anything else you want to cover when it comes to Niners. The Warriors got their ass kicked today. I don't want to talk about that.
They had a good first half.
Yeah,
I
second half
watched
they
that
just
game.
completely fell apart.
Yeah, freaking Mavericks pulled
It
away.
was like fucking alley-oop central. Like they were dunking
It
left
was-
and
it
right.
was-
I was like,
yeah.
They stopped.
It was fun to watch.
They stopped Doncic's streak of triple doubles, so that's a plus. So
yeah. Unfortunately,
and
everybody
they
else
played
decided to
without
score.
Curry, no Curry, and no Draymond tonight.
yeah.
Yeah,
what do
where's
you-
Draymond? What was up with that?
I think he had a night off, man.
He
You'd
was
be
like, "Fuck
surprised
this."
how much time these NBA players get off during the season. It's
No, you're right. Yeah.
you
it's a
know,
lot.
like, oh, my knee hurts. No, it doesn't. You get a night off. All right. I get it.
I know, right? I know. Let me find one more thing. But no, I think so far this offseason, I've been really happy with how the team has performed in free agency. And I'm really anxious to see where it goes from here. I really think that they're going to make more moves. And not only that, but there's been there's an insider, I think it's Tom Pelissero, has said that the Niners are this is what he said. He reported this earlier today, saying that the Niners are on the verge of making a really big move. And so nobody knows what he meant by that. But somebody asked him, "Oh, was it Leonard Floyd?" And he goes, "No." No, somebody asked him, "Was it signing Brandon Ayuk, re-signing him?" And he said no. So they're in discussions. I get the feeling, man. I'm telling you right now.
Joey Bosa.
Well, Bosa's one thing, but I feel like they're still looking to make a trade for a corner. And they have so much draft capital right now that I think with all these signings they've made, they're like, you know what? We could probably move some of these picks.
That's right.
And
they can.
To get like a Pat Surtain.
I'm interested in, I know you guys were mentioning kind of the fire sale going on in Carolina, and I know they have two really standout young corners in Carolina right now on both sides of the ball. I wonder if that's maybe somewhere where they could be looking to. These guys have only been in the league, I think, for 2 to 3 years, but on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the both corners, I know they're young, up and coming, and they're, they got that shutdown capability. So I don't know if that's maybe another area where they're looking to add another, as somebody in the secondary. But I'm assuming you're thinking of maybe somewhere in the area of like a Patrick Surtain or
L'Jarius Sneed could be another one as well.
Correct.
But I just don't know if the Chiefs want to send L'Jarius Sneed to the Niners. And then what? And then they got to play him in the Super Bowl again? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
The guy who fucked them over is fucking us over. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I do firmly believe that if the Niners or if the Chiefs had not re-signed Chris Jones, I think the Niners would have signed him. And yes, I think that we wouldn't have had this many players to add to our depth. But if you can get a guy like Chris Jones as your defensive tackle, that's fucking huge.
No,
that guy's a rotation in himself. You know what I mean? He's
no, exactly. I mean, you're going to get all that production in one piece, and his durability and everything he brings to the table.
I mean, you probably wouldn't get.
He's a showstopper. He's the whole package.
You wouldn't get a lot of these guys, right? But I think that would have been one that if you signed him, you don't need everybody else. You're like,
how much did he sign for?
A lot of fucking money.
95.
Yeah, he signed a fat contract.
Fucking crazy.
I think if we would have signed him, we would have probably looked for a shorter deal worth more money per year.
Front heavy, probably.
But he signed this fucking thing, Discovery. I don't give a fuck.
5 years, like 100 mil, 95 to 100.
I think so. Yeah, 5 years. What? 5 years, $158 million.
158? Whoa, way off.
Well, what's the math on that?
Wow.
Let me share his tab so you guys aren't like, what the fuck is he talking about? See right here in this top corner right here, in the top left corner.
Yeah.
It says contract terms: 5 years, $158 million.
Wow.
Average
salaries
$30 million.
$31 million.
$31 million.
Jesus.
And you know what? We just signed how many players for around $31 million?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like I said, dude, I don't know if we would have given him 5 years, but let's say the Chiefs were like, oh, we're just going to walk away from it because we can't do it. I think they would have offered him a contract, because you get a guy like that, holy fuck, then this defense is like out of control. So we'll see.
Savage.
We'll see how it goes. But guys, I want to thank everyone who came out today. Everyone in the chat, everyone watching on X. We have 56 people watching right now. 56. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll be live again probably next Wednesday as well. I think this is going to be our new stream time is Wednesdays. It's working out really good. And then if anything else comes up, if anything else comes up, then we'll do a Sunday stream. But Wednesdays is where you can find us here on my channel, Nicotina, or the DreArea Sports channel. And every Wednesday you're going to get the DreArea Sports Show. This is fun, guys. I thank you so much for coming out here, Daniel, Dre, again.
Appreciate it, Andre. Thanks for having us, buddy.
Yeah, man,
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Let's keep it going. Wednesdays. I love it.
Wednesdays it is. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you smash the like button. And if you want to support the channel, make sure that you become a member or join us over on Patreon. The next member, who is a second tier level member, we'll get this beautiful Jimmy Garoppolo jersey, which you can do anything with. You can wash your car, wash your dog, anything you want to do with this, you can do. You can even wear it with pride. Yeah, you can throw a pick in the backyard. Fuck.
Go throw a pick in the backyard. Go break your ankle by accident.
That's what he said. Like a Tucker was like, if you're in the mood of throwing a pick in the backyard.
That's the best.
That's the best one.
You want to tear your ACL? Wear a Garoppolo jersey.
Oh, second year. Like, what are you doing? Trying to make a cut? Fuck out of here.
I mean, he had some good years, man. He had some good years with the Niners, when he was healthy.
You think so?
Anyways,
he made it.
I think so. Yeah,
winning franchise again.
He made us relevant.
He did. He did. He took us places that we've never been before.
Yep.
Fucking ridiculous. Oh well. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Until next week. Peace.